Okay guys, this might be the last season of our anime, so let's see through it. Midoriya got his place at the UA, and a lot of things have happened and mostly it was emotionally bad, but it taught Midoriya a life lesson that there might be some people who needs to die, but he's not afraid to face it because he got his friends along with him, but very far away in the United States Air Base. The crew saw the news of the destruction in Japan and the reason behind it was Liberation Front and the main guy was as usual, All for One, who chose Shigaraki as his successor. Both have released imprisoned criminals around the world and they have started to wreak havoc in the cities. Situation is getting worse and Japan has called help from other nations and there the news reported starts getting abused and the stream gets cut off, so the crew wanted to go there, but it's not time to act because the White House has yet to make a decision, so to solve it they can just go there without their order. Star has made this decision because All Might had called for help, so as his disciple she can't ignore it. They flew off to get to Japan, and meanwhile, the distraction from criminals is keeping police and heroes busy from finding All for One, so his plan was working just fine, but Hero Killer thinks they could just leave the country, but no, All for One is eyeing One for All, that's his true goal, and All for One has allies all over the world, so destroying the syndicate in Japan won't make much difference, because all the countries will safeguard their own security, giving All for One the chance to operate freely in Japan, but the greatest obstacles right now is Star Stripe, USA's #1 hero and the strongest woman. So getting her power will make All for One invincible, but aside from that, Hero Killer was guarding All for One, but in time he must help Shigaraki in fight, because of his different appearance. He has faced racism in the society, and there are many like him who stays hidden and sees him as his savior, so they all want to rise up to make a place in the society. And troops of liberation are still trying to operate even though Destro was captured, they now got a new order to rally there. People for fight and assist the League of Villains, and the order ended. Then Endeavor and other were planning to counter the upcoming attack if it happens, but they got the SOS that Shigaraki had showed up 50 miles ahead where Star was. Star wanted to make sure if he's All for One or Shigaraki, but Shigaraki himself doesn't have any idea. So her partner tells her that he's Shigaraki, and everything he touches decays, immensely powerful and uses EMP attacks. So all units got into shock shield mode to engage in a battle, then they got into formation and Star promised to deliver their body to their families if someone dies. But Shigaraki has started to lose himself, he doubts if he's Shigaraki because All for One is right inside of him. So there he comes with a huge load of attack and all units barely evaded it. He wanted to take Star's powers, but Star is also the undefeated queen. She commands that within 100 meters there will be no air in front of her. It's her power known as a new order, truly a terrifying power because she can bend the rules of nature to her will, but she has to announce the name of her target to get them affected. So that is why All for One was after it, but Star knew he wouldn't go down that easily, so the units locked the targets and used lasers on Shigaraki. But he reflected the attack and Star used New Order to neutralize it. Their Shigaraki saw the limitations of her power, but their Star punches him and sent him off, and she knew she wasn't even close to All Might's level. She was once saved by All Might in Santa Monica years ago. She was a kid back then, and near death in an attack, but two antenna face appear and saved her and her family, so that became a mentor for her. So she now walks on All Might's path to bring peace. She pins down Shigaraki. And Shigaraki was done hearing All Might everywhere and Star orders that if he moves even an inch he will die, but inside of him, All for One is taking over his consciousness bit by bit using Shigaraki's hatred. It's nearly complete to fuse into one and that is why Star's order didn't work out. All for One was using the hatred that had been growing inside of Shigaraki for years like fuel for himself. And there he blasted Star off. Shigaraki understood Star could only use a new order on 2 targets. Which means the strongest power also has limitations. She's the #1 hero of the USA. And because of her power she was kept under strict control of the states. She has to touch the target and call out their name to apply new orders. Plus, there is a limit to how much she can strengthen her body because if there were no limits, Shigaraki could have died from first attack, and more so she didn't order to simply kill him, and even with that, she can take over and hold laser in her hand at will. Which shows she has full control over non-living rather than living beings. And in addition to that, Star doesn't know he has All for One inside of him, so she also needs to understand her target to align it with her powers, but that could also apply one-sided as well. But what will be the range of her target? Shigaraki wants to test it, so what now? Their attack on Shigaraki were useless until now, so Star told him to send a word to Commander Agpar. Because Shigaraki is deemed to be a world-level threat, so Star has to kill him here and now. She told others to hold this place, so they threw off Shigaraki and started to get into another formation for her. Their Star used another order to condense air into 1,000 times bigger into her shape. She used it as an offense fight and tried to squash Shigaraki between her palm, and then Unit made a laser spear for the girl and she made this into a rod to burn down Shigaraki into ashes, but it could only stop him for now, and their Agpar contacts her as he had prepared the gift she asked for. It's arriving there. And it's the hypersonic intercontinental cruise missile to blast Shigaraki into pieces. And right there, our episode 1 comes to an end. But if you want to watch all the episodes of this anime, then make sure to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss out on any of the updates. Until then, take care.